Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Um, Today is a great day. The Euros are about to start. We have Italy versus Wales. That's the one that I'm going to stream today. And this should be a very, very good game. I believe the winner of this game will top the group. And yeah, I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. So hang in there. We got a great coverage to cover today between these two teams. And first thing I'm going to do is go through the lineup. So first, we're going to go through the Italian lineup. They're playing a 4-3-3, which is very interesting. And forgive me if I butcher these names. So forgive me for that. In goal, we have Donnarumma. In the back line, we have Bastoni, Bonucci, Emerson, who has come in, and Taioli, I think that's his name. We have Jorginho, Verratti, Pessina, Bellotti, Chiesa, and Bernarducci. So that's interesting. And for Wales is going with a 5-3-2. So let's go through the Wales lineup. We have Danny Ward, Roden, Ampadu, Gunter, Williams, Roberts, Allen, Ramsey, Morel, James, and Gareth Bale. So those are the lineups. And it looks like the two teams are in the tunnel. So let's get the broadcast in the background.
We have played some of the most eye-catching football so far seen at this tournament.
Yeah, this should be a good one, guys.
With a degree of comfort and a very colourful scene.
This is being played at the Stadio Olimpico in Italy.
In the capital of Italy, temperature around about 86 degrees. There is the possibility.
Watching the Italians so far, I will say that
one of the most famous sporting arenas in the world.
The Italians have seemed to have a very fluid style of how they've been playing. Very different from the Italian teams of the past. Italian teams I remember from the past, because I go way back. They were very defensive minded and then just caught you on the counterattack. This team seems to be a little bit more fluid. Roberto Mancini seems to have them playing more through the midfield into the strikers, and they like to hit you out wide from everything that I've seen. So it's going to be interesting to see how Wales counterattacks that. Now Wales is playing with a back five, so that's pretty interesting, which sounds like they're trying to counterattack. So of course, the three players for Wales that we all know about is Daniel James, Aaron Ramsey, and Gareth Bale. So those three have to play big in order for them to stand a chance of winning this game. But the teams are out on the field, and the national anthems will be played very soon. So
a chance to enjoy the vocal talents of two very fine choral societies.
The national anthem of Wales. So Ian Rush in the stands. And now we'll have the national anthem of the Italians. One thing about the Italians, man, they're very passionate about their national anthem. Very, very passionate. I love that. Gotta stay hydrated, folks. Drink that essential water. That's some good stuff. You know what I mean?
Quite like it.
All right, folks. It's about to go down. Looks like a pretty decent crowd too in the Stadio Olimpico. So, yeah, nice crowd. Not full, but pretty decent crowd there. Of course, the best crowd that I've seen so far, everybody has been in Hungary. Yeah, that was they were full capacity. So just interesting watching the crowds in the different countries lets you know where they're at as far as the pandemic is concerned, right? So each European country, you know, you can kind of get a feel for how they're dealing with the pandemic based on the crowd size. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. All right, the two captains are flipping the towing cars with Gareth Bale and Bonucci. Gareth Bale of Wales, Bonucci of Italy.
Wales today have made a strategic decision not to risk their three players who are one yellow card away from suspension. So this is their lineup, with Danny Ward in goal, but no Ben Davies, Keeper Moore, or Chris Meckham. None of them play. Chris Gunter, Ethan Ampadu, and Nico Williams come into a side that Taylor we anticipate will play with a different formation.
Yeah, Ramsey will play as more of a false nine, but it's the energy from Connor Roberts that is the key for Gareth Bale, so he can be more unpredictable in his movement, playing off of Ramsey, while James is the more direct, predictable option with the pace down the left.
So a few changes in the cast list for the 10th meeting between these sides, the first ever at a big tournament. Sense of pageantry around the emergence of the teams and the singing of the anthems. Draw would suit both sides. No suggestion of a non-aggression pact, of course, though. Italy have momentum.
All right, the kickoff is about to go down, and hold on. Okay, the teams are taking a knee, or at least most of the players are taking a knee. All of Wales have taken a knee. Some of the Italians did. So, and we're off. Kickoff.
2020 concludes. We'll keep you updated with events in the other group game, running simultaneously in Baku, Azerbaijan, between Switzerland and Turkey. This is Gareth Bale for Wales, trying to set Daniel James of Manchester United on his way. Famous setting. Can be an intimidating place, and even with 16,000 supporters in rather than the normal 70.
Oh, the Italians are on the break.
It's been a test keeper, isn't it?
Good defender, and he was actually offside. That's one thing I don't like about the new rules today. Why you have to wait so long to let everybody know that the guy is offside? Like, call it right away. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this. You let guys play on and on and on, and then, oh yeah, by the way, he's offside after they'd already defended. And so I know that's the new rule, but it's very irritating.
In the first two games. However, I think Welsh manager Rob Page before the game had it equally as right. They've got pace. And the fluidity of the front three with Ramsey as a false nine, Gareth Bale can interchange with him, and the directness of James that it only needs to be careful in transition.
8 changes in this Italian starting 11 today. So some of those who usually have been in the shadows can emerge into what today is bright Roman sunshine. Leaving Bonucci as by far the most experienced player out there today, winning his 105th cap and skipping the team. Leaning out the hamstring problem, but happily from an Italian perspective, he is expected to be available for the round of 16.
You know, it's interesting watching this Italian team because I do watch a lot of Serie A, and
Atalanta is slotting in at right back. Emerson of Chelsea on the left-hand side of the defence.
they got a nice fluidity to them, but they're going to have to be very careful with Wales. Wales do have a lot of pace up front, especially with Daniel James and Gareth Bale. So, and they have experience. So, this should be a fascinating and a cracking game, I must say.
When it comes to playing for their club and country, they've just got a little bit more when it comes to playing in the Welsh jersey, and more importantly, playing together. And a lot of that is just off the quality of Bale and Ramsey together, but then also in their defensive structure. Both players will contribute on both sides. What a fantastic game Bale had against Turkey as well, creating.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Gareth Bale also. I think he's played quite well in this tournament.
The contrast between the coaches. Mancini.
I don't understand why there's so much hate towards Gareth Bale.
Rob Page, who's previously managed Northampton Town and Port Vale. Nico Williams.
Good ball by Gareth, but Nico Williams of Liverpool couldn't quite get it across the box. And the Italians start another build-up.
Italy so impressive so far. A pair of 3-0 victories here at the Stadio Olimpico. It's got the nation hoping.
Me being a Liverpool fan of the Premier League, I'm very proud to see my man Nico Williams in the starting lineup for Wales. So I always liked this game. Good young player, you know. Speaking of Liverpool, I'm very excited to have Van Dijk back next season. So that should be a huge plus.
Joe Allen. Robert hoping that the referee was going to give a push there. Roberto Mancini is expecting a difficult game. He acknowledges the skills of this Welsh team, but also the minimal physical presence, forthright attitude. There's a comparison made with Stoke City.
It's Verratti.
He remembers less than fondly from his time as a manager in the Premier League.
Very, very slow build-up by the Italians so far.
I didn't know Stoke City was this good.
It's a great repulse.
Nah, that's not going to work.
I did a little bit of digging.
I think the Italians, you know, this is going to be an interesting chess match because Wales is playing a lot of the, you know, they're playing 5 at the back. And when you play 5 at the back.
The one game he lost was on a Tuesday night. So the myth is in fact true.
you're going to have to be patient and try to break this team down. So
Pessina was a late inclusion in the squad when Stefano Sexy was injured.
Well, it's apparent on the defensive side of things of how Wales want to defend.
That was a crunching tackle by Ramsey on Jorginho.
Try to force Italy to play in and around Jorginho. They do not want Jorginho in between the lines, the metronome of this Italian team in possession. He wants him to have fewer touches, and when he does have those touches, further away from the field, which is why I think it's extremely important.
That's offside.
That Ramsey's on point with his defensive setup, and so far so good.
Yeah, he would have been offside, but the keeper got the ball for Wales. So
the problem with that, though, John, is that when you do turn over possession and then you do win the ball, where is that option? And more often than not, that's going to be the pace with James direct on the left, or Gareth Bale and that free
long ball up for Bale, but he couldn't control it. It was actually a good ball by the goalkeeper, but he just couldn't bring it under control. Slow start to the game so far. Each team looks like each team's trying to feel each other out. So this is going to be very interesting. Wales has dropped everybody behind the ball.
It's all right. They closed down by Williams. Italy, dressed by Armani, directed by Mancini.
Growing up, used to watch Roberto Mancini play for Italy. Very, very good player, real gritty guy, gritty type of player. So this team kind of plays based on his personality. But I've enjoyed watching this Italian team play so far. You know, to me, they've been excellent. But this will be the toughest test, without question. Oh, Bernardeschi, he's going on the put a little bit too much on that pass, but that was first time they've actually gotten into a really good position. Actually, second time, but the really first time got into a good position. And in the other game that's in Group A, Switzerland is now leading Turkey by 1-0. Boy, the Turks have been really disappointed.
Results stay as they are. Italy win the group, Wales advance. And then there's a bit of a dust-up for the third place shake-up. Top four third place teams of the 6 groups go through as well. And he gives a free kick. There's a word of admonishment too.
It's going to be a very good battle in the midfield with Joe Allen and Pessina and Verratti.
They turn the ball over and lose possession. Their immediate pressure has been equally as impressive under Mancini, and the biggest reason, in my opinion, why they're on this 29-game unbeaten streak is because now they're pressing further up the field. It's gone completely different than the DNA of the Italian sides.
That's what I said earlier.
Is now you're building a team around high energy, keeping the ball, everyone on the front foot, but then immediately when you react, you turn them over. And Italy's done a fantastic job of doing that since failing to qualify for the World Cup in 2018.
Yeah, because they didn't even qualify for the World Cup last time, so they were pretty pathetic. Good try by Bonucci, but Bonucci, sorry. All the Italians watching, I'm sorry. I butchered his name that time. But Bonucci, but a little bit too much on the pass.
Also, a Chelsea man, spent last season on loan with Sheffield United, a campaign that ended in their relegation. These are the standings in Group A, given the current scorelines. Just underlining, as things stand, Italy would advance as group winners, Wales as runners-up, and Switzerland would be in that mix. All sorts of sums will have to happen to determine which of the teams go through as these simultaneous concluding group fixtures are playing over the next 4 days.
One thing I will say, Aaron Ramsey will be very familiar.
This one scenario, which I think Teddy, you were telling me is a
with how the Italians play. So
2-0 Swiss win today, which means that We get down the bottom of the list of UEFA criteria for sorting out teams that are apparently level. It involves, I think, Pythagoras' theorem, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Which is why I'm not going to explain it to the viewers at home. It's Father's Day. By the way, happy Father's Day.
And to you, sir. And to everyone watching. Early ball play.
Oh! Bellotti almost had one there.
He's certainly got an eye for goal. 12 of them in 34 previous appearances.
He would have been just offside.
Shoulder of the defender. He's not the most elegant of number 9s, but he's very quick. He's got great energy.
I think he would have been called offside.
He's your prototypical number 9, always looking to get on the end of crosses. And especially when you look at throughout his entire career, Bellotti, 32% of his goals have come from inside the 6-yard box. That is where he wants to operate, and that's where he wants to really make his money. It's a fantastic run, and even better ball, just a little bit too far away for Bellotti to get on the end of it.
I agree.
Danny Ward had to have an outstanding opening game against Switzerland for Wales, man of the match.
If Wales can withstand this first 20 minutes, they'll be in very good shape.
Bale and Ramsey much more involved. Verratti. Jorginho.
At the 10-minute mark, Mancini on this near sideline actually had Chiesa and Bernardeschi switch sides. And I think a lot of that is he wants Bernardeschi to be more in the inside channel to allow Emerson then the freedom to overload.
It's going to be like a typical Great Britain versus Italian game. Real physical. I'm looking. This is going to be a good game to me. I like these type of games. Hardcore, physical. You know what I'm saying? Gritty, grindy. That's the type of game it's going to be.
Pessina. Chiesa. Lovely cross and well defended too.
Good cross by Chiesa. Good defending by Wales.
Because of his father, Enrico, who was brought an out-and-out goal scorer. He actually scored against Wales in a European qualifier back in 1999. Verratti.
Bernardeschi. Good cross.
Chiesa.
I think this is an important 65, 75 minutes for Chiesa and Verratti.
If Wales win this game, they top the group. All Italy needs is a draw. If both teams draw and Switzerland beats Turkey, then Wales go through.
We should still be in that 11 that have had great success in the first 2 games.
Emerson! Good save by the keeper. The Chelsea man, Emerson.
Just so explosive in those 1v1 moments. Chiesa is
good defending by Wales.
And you know, as an attacking player, when Chiesa's on the ball, and this goes back to the moments ago when Mancini was orchestrating Chiesa and Bernardeschi to flip sides, and it's worked for Italy well the following 3 to 4 minutes.
Oh.
Verratti touching it back.
Oh man, that was close.
Wales sensed the chance momentarily. Wales have only ever beaten Italy twice. Friendly in Bergamo in 1988, in which Roberto Mancini played, and a famous World Cup qualifier in front of 70,000 at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium back in 2002. And our colleague Alessandro Del Piero scored, as he usually tended to do when playing against Wales, but Craig Bellamy grabbed a dramatic winner that's still talked about.
Wales are pressing.
She forced
And
backwards
she has
by
to go
Bale.
back. Two very professional teams, I must say. That's a good ball.
Bernardeschi. Held up by Rodon.
The Juventus man to Verratti from PSG. Back to Bernardeschi. Good ball, good defending. Oh, ooh. Yee, that was, man. Those type of deflections sometimes can really fool a goalkeeper. Boy, that could have went anywhere.
With quite a benevolent soul in that setting.
Wales need some possession.
Ampadu. Roberts. Chris Gunter winning his 102nd cap. No one has played more often for Wales.
Really, dude? Why go there, man? Oh, good defending.
Good tracking back by Roberts. Well, free kick.
But it's also, look at how deep Aaron Ramsey is trying to play Wales out of this pressure. While it was a little bit of a good spell of possession from the Welsh perspective, however, how much of that is progressively getting them forward, and where Italy's doing a really good job of.
Yeah, Wales can't seem to get forward. They got to get this ball forward. They got to find a way to penetrate. But at the end of the day, they got to bring Italy out also, try to suck them out, because
That's why you've got your center forward right now playing about 5 yards in front of the center backs.
James.
Okay, they got some space now. Okay, got some space. Got to get forward.
Carl Roberts.
Ah, come on, man. What was that?
Mancini's first touch isn't quite as adhesive as it used to be.
You sure about that?
He kicked it into his backside.
Yeah, with a $500 pair of shoes on. The other thing that's interesting, John, is you and I, we did the opening game, we've watched all the other games, but look at Italy in possession. This has now gone to a 3-back, right? Emerson's pushed further up the field, very similar to what we saw with Gosens in Germany yesterday. And then you also look at Toloy then dropping deeper in here. So now it allows Pessina to play in this wide area right in front of him. Giving Wales
That's a bad ball,
a few
man.
questions down the right side in particular. And I think they've done, for 20 minutes, a good enough job.
So far, I would say that
Italy playing through the middle.
Wales has withstood. I said that first 20 minutes, if they can withstand that first 20 minutes, they'll be in good shape.
20 minutes in, the switch of the point of attack, but it's been a little bit more.
That's a foul.
Okay, so we just got a glimpse there of Albert Stuyvenberg.
No, I like this Wales team, man. This Wales team, it's got good balance to it. Very good balance.
In the Premier League.
Pessina, I don't know much about Pessina. I have to look him up and see where who he plays
High
for.
performance at the Seattle
Uh-oh.
Sounders in Major League Soccer, who was front and center of the staff 5 years ago under Chris Coleman. And
They got to find a way to get Bale in open space.
But this is also a product of when you look at the Welsh lineup and you don't see Kiefer Moore, the Italians know that they actually don't have any real direct threat going forward, right? So you can push the line further up. You can make it more compact in the defensive third for Wales. And the only ball we've seen is Ward trying to play off the head of Gareth Bale to get him out of pressure. But that usually is Kiefer Moore.
Ref? It's a foul.
Seems to have taken maybe a knee in the
What the heck was that?
Shows it for ball.
Jeez, he went right through him. What is that? That's a foul. Come on, ref. My goodness.
Was it the arm coming across further up?
Gee, that's like, really? My God, he went right through Bale.
That's it, was unbowed. Throw by Roberts. James. Morel. Allen. Aaron Ramsey.
Good ball. Got to get it wide.
Ampadu. Bale.
Good ball. Good ball. Oh, Italians are trying to play out. Good tackle. Okay, Wales has got it. Wales is outside the box. Where are you going to go? Okay, Ramsey. Good save. Well done. Well done. Well done. Good defended, and that's a foul. Okay. He should put some pressure on him, you know what I mean?
So much of that is Joe Allen getting forward. We haven't seen any of that this first half, and he's timed a couple good runs in some really good spots like these that then all of a sudden the three in the midfield are chasing the game for Italy.
That was too bad.
Some good combination spots. It's lacking the final ball, but for the first time in this half, we've seen Wales get forward off of those combinations with Joe Allen and Ramsey.
Pessina.
Good ball. Bernardeschi. He's getting forward a lot down that left-hand side. That's a poor ball.
Fielded by Morel for Wales.
Another poor ball.
And presented back to Bernardeschi. Chiesa. Bernardeschi.
Good ball. Oh! That was close. That was close.
Just fantastic combination play from Bernardeschi in Chiesa because now
Poor pass by Wales coming out of their back.
You get a great little clip ball.
That was close. All they needed was a touch from one of the Italians running in the box, and that would have been 1-0. Good stuff by the Italians.
Nico Williams.
Oh, Daniel James is out. They got him over the top. He's got a lot of speed. Man. Too bad by Aaron. Good game, man, just as I predicted.
The Euro 2020.
That over the top ball to Daniel James, I think they can I think that's on. I think that ball can be on all the time.
The Netherlands on ESPN2. Coverage will begin at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2 with both networks synced starting at 11:30. All matches from UEFA Euro 2020 are streaming live on the ESPN app. Bale.
Ramsey.
Wales have woken up as an attacking force. Here's Ramsey.
Give it to Bale. Thank you. Got to get Bale on the ball, man.
Joe Allen.
Nice.
Nico Williams.
Nice. Come across. Good ball. Take your time.
Gunter.
That's a good run by Ramsey. Well done. They got a corner out of it. Okay. Wales got a corner. First corner of the game. I think the keeper should have came and got that one, but Daniel James from Manchester United is about to take the corner for Wales.
Today, 4 Juve players on the pitch, and one of them's a Welshman. Another former Welsh international and ex-Juve player, Ian Rush, watching the game. It's a
Oh, that was close. Oh man, Gunter almost had that one. Ooh, that was close.
Especially when you're going up against zonal marking on set.
Oh, that was close. That was terrible marking by the Italians. That was close.
Good header from Gunter.
Do you appreciate how close to history we were there? He's never scored in 102 caps.
Oh, good through ball.
Pessina.
Emerson with Verratti. Verratti's in the box. Verratti. Damn, that was a poor ball.
Betwixt and between. Italy will be so pleased to have him back in the fold and fit and available.
Just such a dynamic player. He reminds you so much of what Xavi used to do for Barcelona.
Yeah, that was a cross, but
in Spain, just
he might as well just shot.
Between the ears,
from that spot, he could have tried to curl that in.
The team with your movement, the touches, and the technique. Both feet, just the ability to lay ball.
I like Verratti. Very good player, man. Plays for PSG. Very good player.
Fantastic player to watch. Another goal in the other game in Baku in Azerbaijan, 2,000 miles from here, and Shonan Shaqiri has scored it. Switzerland lead Turkey by 2 goals.
Oh man, Switzerland is now up 2-0 over Turkey. And Turkey's been so disappointed, man. And they came into this Euros as a dark horse, and they just, I mean, man, just been very disappointed.
Turkey, the biggest disappointment tournament.
Oh yeah, I expected a lot better.
I mean, there was more than a handful of people that had them as the real dark horses of this tournament.
As far as I can ascertain, there were an awful lot of dark horses at the start of this tournament. About 24 of them. Chiesa. Beating Williams.
Good defending by the Welsh. Man, they're digging in.
As if they try and step it up with Verratti.
Oh!
Chiesa!
Oh my goodness.
To go on the line.
Wow.
Just so many different attacking options for Mancini, and especially in these wide areas.
How did that not go in? Oh man, that's why. That would have probably been wide anyway, though. That would have been wide.
Chiesa touches it off the quad to his right arm. But just so many different options for Mancini to.
Yeah, that would have been wide anyway. And we have a corner for the Italians. This one is heating up, folks.
Corner.
Good, well defended by Wales.
By Williams.
And oh, I thought that was another corner. I guess not.
Half an hour in, and the scoreline that would suit both these teams.
What was that?
It's Emerson.
Nah, that's not a foul. Nah, that ain't no foul. Come on. You already stumbling.
And his ends in a smile.
Yeah, that's not a foul. Good try.
Well, he's got the pace and he's got Rodon behind him, but Rodon actually slips, kind of falls on himself, but does the best he can to not have any contact on Emerson whatsoever. Just the way that his momentum was going, he was going to go through the backside of Emerson and ultimately give it a penalty to Italy.
Jorginho. Bonucci.
I will say, though, the work rate of this Italian team is tremendous. Man, they work hard.
Even today, amidst 8 changes, the method is still there. There's ample depth and talent in this squad. Not least this man, Maratti. Visit to most teams at the tournament when fit.
Maratti's starting to boss the midfield now. He's getting a lot of the ball.
Rattling in with the challenge.
I think the scary thing, though, when you look at Italy, John, is just as exciting as they are going forward, they haven't lost their DNA defending. Since November, they've played 9 games, 9 wins. They've only given up 8 shots. 8 shots. Haven't given up a goal. And so while they're a little bit more progressive, I think as a neutral, they're more exciting to watch because there's an energy to them and a progressive thinking to them where you can see the clear tactical plan to go forward, keep the ball, but also get in some real good dangerous spots. They also have a real good idea that where they've been really successful in these major tournaments is not giving up chances. And the fact that your goalkeeper in the first two games in 33 minutes has faced 1 shot, that says a lot.
Good try, Chase. All right, we are actually 32 minutes into this game, and it's still 0-0 between Italy and Wales in Group A of the final match of Group A. So I think this is going to be a tight one, right down to the wire, folks.
October of 2020.
It's a foul on Gareth Bale. Another push in the back. Obvious foul. That's what he did the last time, but he didn't call it. See, sometimes these refs, man, although I would say overall the refs in this tournament have been very good. Compared to watching the Premier League, I mean, my goodness, some of them refs in the Premier League, Jesus. Oh, man. Compared to this tournament, yeah, this has been excellent refereeing, actually. So even the VAR decisions to me have been very good so far in this tournament. I have no complaints. It's a cross by Wales. Not enough power on the header by Roden. Ooh, that's a crunching tackle. Whoa.
There's also involved Dan James' foot going over the top of the ball.
And it's on that heavily taped up right leg of Verratti as well.
Yeah, that was a cruncher. I have to see it. Ooh, yeah.
I think James is a little fortunate to not be walking away with a yellow card here, don't you?
Yeah, that was over the top.
So rare Welsh effort on the Italian goal. Roden's header. Fielded by goalkeeper Donnarumma, who we are led to believe will shortly be signing for Paris Saint-Germain. Their medical team are due in Rome later today to carry out an examination. Chiesa. Verratti.
I will say Wales have been very organized defensively. Very organized. They just haven't had a lot of the football. Italy's had a lot of the ball in this first half. I kind of expected that.
Past that 1,000-minute mark since they last conceded.
They got a lot of good tactical players on the Italian team. But Wales have been very, like I said, they've been very organized defensively. So you got to give them a lot of credit.
It dates back to the 1930s.
But this is international football, you know. This is what you're going to have to deal with sometimes. You're going to have to suffer defensively. That's a good ball. Ooh, ooh, that was close. Would it have been offside?
And he's
Let's
always
see.
thinking about the spaces behind the center backs. And now it's when it's
I can't see from that angle.
Compact. You've got to be creative with your movements. You've got to be very precise, making sure you're staying on side, but then timing that run. And it only works when you've got players like Jorginho and Ferrati that can look for that ball and play that kind of ball. But
what was that? Come on, goalkeeper. What was that?
This video had a few nearly moments. Here once again, Ferrati.
Shoot!
Bernardeschi.
Yeah, man. Have one.
Hands away off of them. In a promising position for Italy.
Free kick given by Joe Allen of Wales, just outside the box for the Italians. On the left-hand side of the box, you know, just outside, about 10 yards outside the corner part of the left-hand side of the box. So, very dangerous spot. Very bad position to give a foul. This is a dangerous spot for Wales.
The whistle up high, as if to say, you're not taking this until I've blown it. Black armbands for Italy today in memory of Giampiero Bonifatti, one of the most illustrious forwards who has died.
Wales is holding a tight line right now. Goal by the Italians. Pessina of the Italians has put it in the back of the net for a 1-0 lead for Italy in the 38th minute. Yes, sir. Italy is up 1-0.
Very cultured player, someone with an economics.
I said this was a dangerous spot to give away a free kick for Wales.
His role, but a wonderful ball into that near post. And time again, you'll hear managers around the world, players around the world tell you about how important it is.
Nice little flick on
the goalkeeper's momentum
and a beautiful finish.
So any kind of deflection ends up in the back of the net. What a wonderful touch this is from Pessina.
Beautiful touch by Pessina.
No chance for Ward to get a hand on that one. What a fantastic tournament from Italy so far in this Group A. We've now scored 32 goals since they last conceded one. They're looking more and more like one of the teams to beat here. First to book their place in the round of 16. On a lot of them, though, John, is they've scored 7 goals in this tournament. 6 of those are from open play. That's more than any other European championship they've ever played. And so now, while that goal comes off the set piece, traditionally, that's how Italy has won these games. They've done it in a different style in front of their home crowd, and it's got everyone thinking, you know what, this person has something to say. Morel. That poses a problem for Wales, who thus far haven't really looked like scoring. Shouldn't be a threat to their progression through to the round of 16. Changes that they've made in their lineup, keeping out the 3 players with yellow cards, tell you of the confidence they have that their place is reserved.
hoping the views of two stalwarts of these teams down the years, Alessandro Del Piero, World Cup winner with Italy, and Chris Coleman, 42 caps as a player for Wales, and nearly 6 years as a very successful manager.
Italians on attack again.
Verratti.
They're tapping the ball around, tiki-taking.
Verratti whipping it in.
Oh! Almost another one.
He could attack it, and Pessina didn't quite get there.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about from Pessina. See how he looks directly where the
Oh
ball
my
is, but
goodness.
where is the threat? And it's coming.
Did it come off the Welsh player?
Midfield position.
Oh no, it came off of him, but he just missed. He almost had a second. Corner? How was that a corner? That came off the Italian.
The space is occupied. And then you time that run on the midfield. Fantastic run from Pessina.
Corner for the Italians. Oh my goodness. That was almost another goal.
Awkward moment. Sword to field the ball coming off one of his own players. Bale. Ampadu. Ramsey. Allen.
Wales needs something going forward here. They really haven't had a lot going forward. Ah, they had ball by Ramsey. He got it back though, but then he fouled.
Ramsey's just being put in this position where he's got to try to create his own thing, and more often than not, that's dropping level with Joe Allen. So the only way that really works is if Gareth Bale then slides over and occupies Panucci. There's no real.
Oh man, that was a good chance for the Italians up front.
This is how Group A currently looks, with Switzerland leading Turkey in the other group game by 2-0. Wales, if these scorelines become results, would qualify as runners-up. They would face the runners-up in Group B in Amsterdam on Saturday in the round of 16. Group B is Belgium, Russia, Denmark, Finland section. Winners of this group, like Italy, will face the runners-up in Group C. It's like being Austria or Ukraine at Wembley. Go again.
Just capable of just breaking the lines with his runs coming out of the midfield. And this
Now, the one thing I will say where the Italians do have an advantage is that they played all their games at home. So it's a lot easier to play at home than on the road in front of a hostile environment. You know what I mean? So that's definitely been a big advantage for the Italians. They're playing at home in the comfort of their home. They got to sleep in their own beds and all that. You know what I mean? So. That is a big advantage.
It's not quite the red wall of Welsh support that travelled around Euro 2016, their opening game at that tournament in Bordeaux. 24,000 Welsh supporters. Measured in the hundreds rather than the thousands because of prevailing circumstances here. Noisy nonetheless. Around.
And that's it. That's halftime, folks. We've had a very, very good half. The Italians go into the half up 1-0.
Italy's reserves are also
Pessina with the goal in the 39th minute. And we're going to take a quick break. And I will be back in a minute. All right, so we are at halftime, folks, and let's go through a little bit of the stats between the Italian and the Wales. The Italians have had 65% possession of the football, in compared to 35% for Wales. Italians have had 10 shots with 3 on target. Wales have had 2 with 1 on target. We've had 15 fouls in total, 7 on the Italians, 8 on Wales. No yellow cards, no red cards. We've had 1 offside by the Italians, none by Wales. 2 corner kicks to the Italians, 1 by Wales. And we've had 2 saves by the Welsh goalkeeper and 1 save by the Italian goalkeeper. So those are the halftime stats of the first half. And if you look at the last 5 games between Italy and Wales, well, actually, the last 5 games between both teams, Italy have won. Actually, not between both teams, but just the last 5 games. Italy have won 5 straight, dating back to March of this year, and Wales have dating back to March also. Wales have 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. That loss came to France in a friendly back on June 2nd. So the Italians have been red hot, red hot. So yeah, Wales has, like I said, Wales have to have more of the football. They got to get a little bit more rhythm and get themselves on the ball to get the ball and move the Italians around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They got to start bringing them out, shifting them left to right, and moving them around, because at this rate, you know, you got to get Gareth on the ball, and you got to get Daniel James on the ball. If you don't get, those are your 2 dangerous players, along with Ramsey, obviously, but Daniel and Gareth are your 2 most explosive players up front. And so you got to get both of them on the ball. Wales made 3 changes to their lineup, and one of those was their big giant striker that they have. I forget his name, but I think he's carrying a yellow card, and that's why he's not in this game. But so I get that, but they might bring him in at some point in the second half because they don't really have a target man up front. You understand what I'm saying? And so corner kicks, balls, free kicks, they don't really have anybody that they can swing the ball into. But you know, I thought that Wales overall handled themselves pretty well. They need to get a goal back to make this game interesting. And we'll see what happens on the second half. You know what I mean? Just watching real quick the highlights of the Switzerland versus Turkey game. And Man, the Turks have been very disappointed. Oof, what a goal by Shaqiri of Liverpool. That's a screamer. Yes, sir. That's a wow. But all in all, I think this it's been a very good game. You know what I'm saying? Guys, let me know in the comments who you think, who's your favorites to win this tournament. After seeing what you've seen so far, do you think are the favorites to win this tournament? Would you say the Italians so far? You know, you got teams like France. I mean, look what Germany did to Portugal yesterday. My goodness. I mean, they just pretty much ripped them apart. I didn't see that one coming. That's a very good Portuguese team. So, you know, does Germany now get into that fray? Belgium. I mean, that squad Belgium's got, that's a talented. I mean, they are very talented. So there's some big dogs in this tournament. This is once we get to the knockout stage, you know, that's going to separate everything as far as then we'll see who's who and what's what. So that's going to be the interesting part is once we get to that knockout stage, obviously, you know, the best teams are going to be playing one another, and we'll get a better idea of who's who and what's what. I don't really. It's hard to say. You know, watching the French. You know, let's be real. France should have won that game by a good 3 goals. I mean, the chances they missed in the first half. Benzema. My goodness, he missed a sitter. You know, Mbappe could have had a goal. You know, I mean, they missed some pretty good chances in that first half. They could have signed, sealed, and delivered that game. But that's what happens in these tournaments. You know, you keep missing chances, and a team like Hungary that was playing at home in front of a packed stadium, you give them, they have, you know, that one opportunity, and they took advantage of it. You know, of course, Griezmann scored the equalizer for France, but overall, I would say little disappointed from France, really just because of their finishing. Not really because of the way they played. I thought they played well. I mean, they had most of the possession, which was kind of guaranteed, but you know, they're still a favorite, in my opinion, because I mean, when you look at that squad, looking at the talent of that squad, I mean, it's just incredible. You know what I'm saying? So, England, very disappointing against Scotland. You know, if they can turn it up moving forward, they're going to have a chance. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, we shall see. Like I said, I really don't have a favorite right now. I think the teams that I just mentioned: France, Belgium, Italy, Germany, and Portugal. France, Belgium, Italy, Germany, and Portugal, I think, are at the top. And then you have teams like England and some of the other teams that I would filter in underneath, just based on performance. Not because England's not talented enough. I just think they haven't shown me enough yet to me to put them with France and Germany, you know, and even Portugal. So I got to see a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I got to see. England's going to have to show me something moving forward, because the 2 performances so far have been underwhelming to me. Even though they beat Croatia, you know, I would say it didn't spark anything with me. Yes, they got the W, and at the end of the day, yes, you just want to get the W. You know, I guess you could say at the end of the day, you're just trying to get to the knockout round, and once you get to the knockout round, it's a toss up. It's anybody's thing, right? So You get there, you're in, you see what happens. So so that's my take on England so far. But we shall see, you know. Holland, or excuse me, the Netherlands. Do I think the Netherlands have a chance? Yes, but and I've said this in the past, the only problem I have with the Netherlands is they don't have an out-and-out number 9. They got talent in the back. They got a good goalkeeper. They got a hell of a midfield. They got guys like Depay and all these guys, you know. But they don't really have an out-and-out number 9. I don't know why. I'm not sure what's happened to their number 9s. They have some pretty good strikers, but they don't have a Van Persie. You understand what I'm saying? Or Marco van Basten from back in the day. You know, they don't. Where is that type of striker in Holland? That's the only thing they're really missing. That's it, realistically. You know, if they can find that number 9 up front, yeah, they would be right. To me, they would be right in that mix. So a lot of their goals have to come through the midfield, and you know they have to create through their midfield to get their goals. Whereas teams that have number 9s, like a Cristiano Ronaldo, like a Lukaku, like a Mbappe, you know, they can get their goals through their number 9s. So that's the only thing missing with the Netherlands. Let's look at some of the other groups. I know I've missed it. I probably have missed some of the other teams. So Group A, as we stand, if it stays the way it is, Italy and Wales will go through. Group B, Belgium. To me, Belgium has already booked their place. It's going to come down to Russia or Finland, who gets that second place. Group C, the Netherlands have already booked their spot. It's going to come down to the Ukraine and Austria, who gets that second spot. Group D is still wide open. Czech Republic and England, who play last, will determine who wins that group. They're on 4 points each. Croatia and Scotland, who play next, who play in that group, also are on 1 point. So something's going to give in that group. That group's still wide open. Group E, Sweden leads the group with 4 points. Slovakia is in second with 3 points. Spain is in third with 2 points, and Poland is in fourth with 1 point. And Spain plays Slovakia in the next game in that group, which is the last game. Sweden played Poland. So that group is still wide open. So we'll see what happens with that. Group F, which is the group of death group, France leads the group on 4 points. Germany now is in second with 3 points. And Portugal is in third on 3 points. Hungary, who I don't think stand a chance in this group, is on 1 point. So even though the group's still wide open, I think it's going to come down to who wins the group between France, Germany, and Portugal. And France played Portugal last. And so tough spot for both teams to be in. Germany plays Hungary. Germany could actually top the group. And if France, put it like this, if Germany beats Hungary, France and Portugal draw, Portugal is out. So we'll see. Because I think, well, not necessarily. The third place in that group might still be in, because I think there's a couple of third place teams that get in. I think so. So we shall see. But the second half is getting ready to start. So we're gonna go live back to Stadio Olimpico for the start of the second half between Italy and Wales.
So that appears to be a definite half-time substitution by Roberto Mancini. We're just waiting for Wales to emerge. There is a Cherby, his 9th club, Lazio. And here come Wales. These two nations linked fondly by the likes of the gentle giant John Charles, born in Swansea, who was voted Juventus' best ever foreign player in the 1950s and early 1960s, and of course by Giorgio Chinaglia, Italy, Lazio.
So it looks like they've made a substitution. They're taking off Bonucci. Sorry. I don't know why I keep messing his name up. I'm so sorry.
The national team.
Taking off Bonucci, and Verratti has now got the captain's armband. And who are they bringing on?
Liverpool striker who also had success with
Acerbi. Okay.
Here watching from the VIP box.
Acerbi. Does he play for Lazio?
Recovered from testicular cancer to resume his professional career. His 16th cap at the age of 33.
Acerbi. Play for.
Referee looks at the UEFA official with arm outraised horizontally. When he drops that arm, the referee has his cue to recommence.
And the second half is off as Wales kicks it off.
Of course, in the red. And trailing to Pessina's goal 6 minutes before half time.
Yes, he plays for Lazio, is what I thought. So. And the Italians have the ball now. As the second half has just started.
Wales at the moment in second place, as it stands table, but that could change if they concede further goals. And Switzerland 2 up on Turkey in the other game. Verratti shown up very well so far on his return after injury. Acerbi. The distance between the two central defenders for Italy.
It's going to be interesting to see what you get from the Welsh in this second half. We've seen a little bit of a higher line than what we saw with Ramsey dropping in deep, trying to limit the impact that Jorginho could have on the ball. But these are just difficult prospects. You know you've got 4 points. You know you're more than likely moving on. And in the back of a player's mind, you're thinking, well, the last thing I want to do is to get injured or change anything from my round of 16 opportunities. So it's a difficult task here, but I think you can get a lot out of this and just trying to play your way back into the game and trying to see if against this Italian side you can have a little bit more possession and find a way to create a few more chances than you did in the first half.
Chris Gunter, back to Danny Ward. First round thing as to who would start in goal for Wales at this tournament. Danny Ward, a reserve at Leicester, and the long-standing number 1, Wayne Hennessy, only played 1 game all season for Crystal Palace. Ward got the nod, and certainly hasn't let Wales down. He was outstanding in their opener against the Swiss. Pitching factor for Ward was saving a Karim Benzema penalty in a warm-up friendly in France.
All right, so Wales is on the attack.
James. Nico Williams. Joe Rodon of Tottenham, and now Chris Gunter, who plays his football in the English 3rd tier with Charlton Athletic. Gives you some idea of the discrepancy between the level at which many of these Welsh players are performing compared to Italian ranks, in which 22 of the 26 in the squad are regulars in Serie A.
Okay, so Wales got a little bit more of the football. They got to keep possession.
Players shared between Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain.
But it also emphasizes the continuity in team spirit within the Wales group. The sum is greater than the individual parts, and they've shown that in the last 2 European Championship tournaments.
Bastoni going through from the back on Bale.
Ooh.
With no earthly chance of winning the ball legally.
That's a nasty tackle.
Bastoni's made no secret whatsoever that any ball played into Gareth Bale with him in in his backside into him. He's come right through. Ampadu. Dangerous place to give it up. Roberts, fail. Rattling in that time, Moratti. Bale. Rushing off Bastoni. Daniel James.
Yeah, Wales has got to keep possession, man.
Beauty for Wales is that however much they might be appearing to struggle to discomfort Italy, Bale and Ramsey, they have a duo who are capable of producing divine moments from nowhere, which can turn the course of a match. Need to be getting far enough up the pitch to produce them. Velotti. Foul by Allen.
Another foul by Allen outside the box.
For the Stoke and Wales midfielder, Joe Allen.
And a yellow card for Joe Allen.
Just a little sloppy
of Stoke City.
there that forces Joe Allen having to recover, and Velotti knows and feels that pressure from behind. And now Joe Allen has to be extremely careful on a yellow with the round of 16 coming up here.
Take him off.
And he isn't put in another dangerous position. I'd be shocked if he's not subbed out of this game to protect him.
I would take him off.
Bearing in mind that the whole essence of the team selection today was to protect those already carrying yellows. They're white clean after the quarterfinals. That's 2 more games after this to get through.
Yeah, I would warm somebody up as we speak and get Joe Allen off. He's too important to Wales.
He's taken interest in placing the ball. Last sweeping goal of the Stadio Olimpico.
Looks like Bonadeschi from Juventus is taking it. It's interesting what the Italians have done. They got 3 behind the wall, 3 in front of the wall. Interesting. About 10 yards behind the Wales wall. So
it's going to be Moratti leaving it for Bonadeschi to strike.
Oh, he hit the post. Wow. Unlucky, son.
Just so much distraction before this, and so now it's difficult for Danny.
I think the keeper would have had it if
the fact that that ball goes through that wall, the amount of players in there, no touch, no deflection. The Ward picks it up too late.
Acerbi. It's now entirely a reserve back 4. Italy, Toloi, Acerbi, Bastoni, and Emerson.
Oh!
And here's Ramsey with a chance all of a sudden. And Wales have been feeding on tracks. And they should have made more of a meal at that. Moratti. Chiesa. This won't be a contest for pace. That's a very, very good recovery by Gunter. Chiesa once more.
This game is starting to heat up.
Pessina.
It's a good ball over the top. Come on. Ramsey, you should have just fired that, man.
Best moment so far.
I would have just fired it. Just fire it.
Everyone in the European Championships in 2016 with 1 goal, 4 assists, but a lot of it is just the eye and the runs out of the midfield. You can see the joy that he has in playing this role, where there's a ton of freedom to find the game, find the spaces. But you said it best, John, with the quality of Bale and Ramsey, in the blink of an eye, they can turn the game on its edge.
Oh, it's a red.
What?
Well, the expectation was that the referee was going for yellow, but Ethan Ampadu has been sent off here for Wales.
A red?
Bernardeschi is the player who was caught. There's even sympathy from 1 or 2 of the Italian players towards Ethan Ampadu. This is being checked by the VAR, who is Paweł Gil of Poland.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nowhere near the ball, and it was something of a snapping moment.
Well, the studs are shown. So if that's higher on his leg, and then you look at it, that is a dangerous challenge, and an unnecessary one.
And Rob Page at ground level had a really good view of it. The check is over.
I mean, it's not it's not a red card now. It's the issue, John.
And Gareth Bale puts his arm around Ethan Ampadu and leads him towards the tunnel. Mark Clattenburg, your interpretation of that, please.
But normally challenges like this result in a yellow card, foot on foot. It's he stepped on his foot. He hasn't gone any higher than his ankle. Normally when it's above the ankle, it would be a red card. But is it a clear and obvious error for the VAR to overturn it? I think if he went yellow, the VAR would not overturn it. But now that it's gone red, there's not enough to overturn it to be a clear and obvious error.
So obviously, I mean, there are different levels for referees in terms of interpretation.
Well, that just turned this game on his head.
Yeah, of course he has. If we look at these type of challenges that have happened in the tournament, foot on foot's always ended up as a yellow card, and that's one of the UEFA recommendations.
Okay, Mark Clattenburg. Top UEFA referee himself.
Wow.
And that seemed a little bit more than foot on foot, didn't it to you, John? I mean, we have the luxury of seeing slow motion in 3 or 4 different looks. From the referee's perspective, he sees studs up. He sees them higher than the ankle, just a little bit more.
Yeah, looking at it, that was a pretty bad challenge.
The referee's perspective in that. And I also understand as well that VAR can't do anything about it because nothing was clear and obvious.
Yes, sir.
Wow, this is going to be uphill challenge for Wales.
Such a dynamic player Chiesa is. It's amazing to think that he almost quit the game at age 13.
That has just changed the dynamic of this game.
Age, but then refound his love for the game and has turned into a real explosive player for both Juventus and Italy.
2 players sent off for this tournament, both by the same referee. Of course, Krychowiak in the Poland-Slovakia match was the other, also controlled by the video Hatzigalant for 2 yellow cards.
Just to think that Aaron Ramsey.
Tricky task has just become mountainous.
And it's also difficult for Rob Page in how you assess this, right? Because the last thing you want as well is 30-plus minutes of playing down a man. You're going to run Ramsey and Bale and the other key players for your team in the round of 16 into the ground. So what kind of moves does he make, and who are they for? Not only for this game, but more importantly for that round of 16.
Yeah, you got 5 substitutions. It might be time to start thinking about.
This is a difficult situation here for Wales.
It's Galati. Galati. Now the flag is raised. Wales relief.
Always flirting with that high line.
He's like
Always
Wales.
Space in behind. At times can be too enthusiastic with those runs, but the ideas are always there from Galati to just ask questions about the center backs that are near him and close to him. So worried about that.
All right, so the first substitution is Moore. Comes on for Morale.
Replaced by one of those who's on a yellow card, and Rob Page was seeking to protect today. Keeper Moore.
So they're probably going to pay him up front by himself. He's going to play the lone man up front. So
one of the reasons that Page was reluctant to start Moore today is that he is a fairly impulsive player who does pick up a lot of yellow cards. Down goes Daniel James.
okay, well, Wales got a free kick. This is Gareth Bale territory.
The Italians are surprised that the assistant referee doesn't raise his flag for the ball being out of bounds, but good work from Daniel James to stay with it.
This is definitely Gareth Bale territory.
Substitution and Keeper Moore.
You won't be if he pops up on the end of this and not in an equaliser.
He can score the equalizer
Oh, really?
once, but if he gets a yellow card in the remaining 30 minutes, I've lost that option in the round of 16.
Well, this is a rare opportunity indeed for Wales. A man down, a goal down. Rarely have they been anywhere close to the Italian goal.
This is a great opportunity for Wales.
Can they make a set piece count? It's James. Out as far as Roberts.
Oh, come on, man.
Italy from the back. With a chair.
Italy's on the attack. Chiesa, good defending by Wales.
Seems like they're doing a lot of chasing for the next half hour. Emerson. Verratti. Hernandezki. That challenge by Ampadu. No long-lasting damage. It was also Ethan Ampadu's first career red card. Bastoni.
Italy's on the attack. Chiesa.
Chiesa. Pessina.
Ball comes in. Good defending by.
Well, speaking. Goal in the other game in Baku. Turkey have pulled one back. Switzerland 2, Turkey 1.
Keeper Moore is such a huge part of how this
So
Wales
Turkey has
plays.
pulled one back. It's now Switzerland 2, Turkey 1. Okay, got a game on there. We got a game on here. We got a game on there.
That you would think for a player of that profile. Dominant in the air, but very capable with his feet. Important for Page and I think Wales as they go into the round of 16, determining how they're going to play against the opponent that they face.
Here's Moore. Matteo Pessina. Releasing Chiesa. Three waiting.
Good save by the goalkeeper.
pace, dear Lord, just the pace, but then the composure.
Good save by the keeper.
This initial run, the touch is out in front of you, but then to have the balance and composure there, to then pick the right spot in the split second. Great save here from Danny Ward. Reaction save, absolutely, but a good one at that.
Wow, good save by Danny Ward.
Attendance today, 11,500. A piece of it staged by the Romanian referee ahead of this corner. And Adeski will take it.
Just try that near post again.
He was charged regarding the near post and inswept to Loy.
Yeah, that was never going to work.
Ramsey knowing exactly where he is on the field and knowing that if Toloy is going to get his head on that, it's not really that big of a threat.
We did tell you about that Turkish goal, and it does sweep away a whole array of very complicated possibilities, which could have occurred if this game had ended 3-0 Italy and that one had ended 2-0 to Switzerland. It would have gone down to the number of yellow cards. Right at the bottom of the list of UEFA's criteria. We can put away the pie charts.
The other thing is, though, historically, when teams go 3-0 in the group stage, it's happened 9 times. 7 of those teams have made the final. You also look as if Italy finishes this group the way they are.
So we got 24 minutes left in regular time, plus some extra time.
They can run at least to the semifinals.
And Adeski slipped as he was shooting. Well, the way things are looking, they could collide with Belgium in a quarter-final in Munich. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Acerbi. Bernardeschi. Jorginho.
Oh, good defending by Aaron Ramsey.
That's on the turn.
You know, you watch this team play, it's remarkable to think that they failed to qualify for the World Cup, isn't it?
Mancini is something of a footballing alchemist. Moment of alarm for Danny Ward. Squirmed from his grasp.
Ah, that's not going to work. Good try by Verratti. That was never going to work.
One of the biggest concerns for Wales coming into this was neither goalkeeper was in great form, struggling to get play, injuries. Danny Ward's had a couple good moments in this tournament. He's been up to par, but that still was a concern for Paige and the Welsh fans of whether or not either one of their goalkeepers can stand on its head and carry a team out of the group stage and into the knockout rounds.
Sooner to Turkey pull one back in Baku and Switzerland go 3-1 up for the second goal.
Ah, Switzerland's going 3-1 up now.
Switzerland 3, Turkey 1.
Well, I think for the rest of this game, it's pretty much going to be one-way traffic with Wales just defending, trying to hang on for dear life, and the Italians trying to crack the code of Wales just defending.
Pessina with Fuller up as company for him. One of them is Verratti.
So that's pretty much going to be what this game's going to come down to. What it looks like. It's about 20 minutes left. That went out. Try to do too much. So far, statistics, Italy has had the ball 63% of the time to 37% for Wales. I expect that number to go up. Italy's had 17 shots with 5 on goal. Wales has still only had 2 with 1 on goal. So
for everyone in the Azzurri blue.
1 red card for Wales, 1 yellow card for Wales, no yellows or red for Italia. 11 fouls on Italy to 10 on Wales. So
Italy through if it stays this way as group winners. Send them to face the runners-up in Group C, likely to be Austria or the Ukraine at Wembley on Saturday. The runners-up in this group, which look like being Wales, will face the runners-up in Group B, which is Belgium, Russia, Denmark, Finland. That game will be in Amsterdam on Saturday. Connor Roberts.
come on, man. You know that ball wasn't yours. Stop the fool.
First day of simultaneous matches. It's actually the most straightforward in terms of the equations. The next 3 promise to be rather more complicated and intriguing for that matter. Roberts. Ramsey.
Well defended by the Italians.
Tomorrow, the conclusion of Group B, Russia against Denmark on ESPN, Finland versus Belgium on ESPN2. Coverage begins at 2:30, both games kicking off at 3 Eastern. And if you happen to be out and about, all UEFA Euro 2020 matches streaming live on the ESPN app. Emerson. Should also say that the football doesn't stop here. Every reason to stay with us on ESPN beyond the conclusion of our coverage, because from 2 o'clock Eastern we'll have coverage of the Major League Soccer game. 42,000 expected at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for Atlanta United against the Philadelphia Union. It's directly after our broadcast from Rome.
It's near post again. Man, they love that near post ball. I hope other teams are watching because everything they do is near post, near post, near post. They get runners to the near post and flick ons.
On almost any set piece for Italy, the near post run has been the most
effective. Yeah, they just love that near post, near post, near post, near post.
On its way.
Wales need some substitutes, man, to get some more fresh legs in there. You know what I'm saying? I would get Joe Allen out of there because he's on the yellow.
Largely shackled. Not always entirely legally. Harry Wilson for Dan James. Liverpool, although he's been playing his football this past season at Cardiff in the Championship. And a double substitution by Italy. Brian Cristante will come into the midfield. And young striker Giacomo Raspadori will win just his 2nd cap.
So Cristante is on for Jorginho.
A highly effective display by Jorginho. And it's Bernadeschi who's being withdrawn.
Bernadeschi is off for Raspadori.
6 goals for Sassuolo, including 4 in 5 matches at the end of the season, which earned Raspadori his place in the squad.
Fantastic full pre-tournament, Johnny said, I have the dream of being the next Scalacci.
It's the aim of every young Italian. And who stamped his name right across Italia 90.
Oh! Oh, man, Bale.
Well, might he hold his head?
Wow.
Well, the problem here is oftentimes when you make substitutions on set pieces, there's confusion
Oh,
about man
man.
marks, and wide open on the back post was Gunter, and he laid it on a platter for Gareth Bale.
Wow. That was the equalizer.
Wales would have wanted it to drop to. It fell to the right man.
I think it caught everyone by surprise, including Gareth Bale.
Man, that was it. No, I'm not going to rip Bale, because I like Gareth Bale as a football player. People love to rip on Bale, man. That guy's been a hell of a football player in his career. So no, I'm not going to rip on Gareth Bale. I refuse to do that. You know, it's the way I hear people talking about some of these professional athletes is just disgusting to me, man. They talk about them like these guys are bums or something, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's across a lot. I hear a lot of YouTubers doing that, man. They just talk about pro athletes like they could do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, give these guys some respect. Everybody misses chances. Everybody misses shots. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can go way back to when Roberto Baggio missed a penalty for Italy. I know that brings up a lot of sore wounds for Italy, and that was in the World Cup final. So here in the United States, and they lost to Brazil. So everybody misses. Everybody has hiccups in their career at some point. You know, nobody's perfect.
The plan A's and the plan B's and whatnot, but the truth is, when Kiefer Moore's on the field, they have.
You know, so I don't rip professional athletes because I used to play the game. I know how hard it is to play this sport at a pro level. A lot of guys don't even make it to the semi-pro level. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the sacrifice and all the things these guys have to give up to be a pro athlete. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to rip these guys because they miss a chance. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of that is just jealousy. I think a lot of it is jealousy by people who would never be able to reach these levels.
Italy with options.
Boy, that's a tough ball. Yeah, that's a tough ball to give.
A wasted opportunity. Well, still ruining that Gareth Bale miss.
Well, it's exactly what you want, is just to head the ball directly across the goal, and that ball fell perfectly for Gareth Bale.
Wow. That was their chance. He knows it too, man. That was their shot.
Rush. Hello, just behind him. One of the greatest of goal scorers for Liverpool. Briefly for Juventus as well. Led the Welsh attack for many a year. Nico Williams. There was a late challenge there. Referee says play on. Wales still with their man down. Eventually the referee does blow. The yellow card emerges from the pocket of his yellow shirt. Not once but twice. One to each team. Muscata of Wales cautioned. And save goes for Pessina. 64 minutes since Ampadu was sent off.
So we're in the 79th minute. We're in the final stretch of this game, folks.
Offside, Pessina.
Since Ampadu has come off, this is close. I think Pessina was kept on by Gunter, but since Ampadu has come off, Wales have done a good job of just making sure the back line is in sync with each other and not allowing those spaces that we saw at times Italy exposed in the first half.
The ball there. It's a non-league player until the age of 24, outside the professional structure in English football. It's made up for lost time, and
He caught him.
I know that he's not in the vicinity because he's always involved one way or another. It's the yellow card, foul by Pessina.
So in the last 10 minutes of this game, I'm assuming plus some extra time, Italy still up 1-0 on Wales. Very tactical game. I mean, obviously, once the sending off for Ampadu of Wales changed the whole dynamic of the game. So now it's really, like I said, one-way traffic with Wales really just defending. Although, if I'm gonna be honest, this game should be 1-1. It really should be 1-1. Gareth had a great opportunity, so it really should be 1-1 right now. But shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Pessina. Masconi. Emerson. Cristante. Chiesa. Chiesa to Verratti. Chiesa. And at the end of a lengthy spell of Italian possession, a corner.
Well, space so limited. With Wales being down a man and just clogging it up for Chiesa and Verratti to try to play through it, but just so many clean touches. It's still fun to watch in those tight areas how the Italians keep possession.
Two more summoned from the bench. For Wales, we can see David Brooks and Ben Davis.
Got to defend this corner, though.
Italy looking to seal the deal. Pessina. Chiesa. Way off Connor Roberts.
Well, Wales came into the game today with the most blocked shots in this tournament so far, and that's continued. There's just a collective energy to this team when defending. It's not only the player closest to the ball, but where's their support, and then in last-ditch moments, they're very smart at throwing their bodies on the line and just making it difficult for the Italians to get that shot on goal.
Chiesa. At his best is particularly elusive. Double mark by Wales. Marco Verratti.
Good defending by Wales. That was a close one.
As well, substitutes wait, and also an Italian replacement. Ampadu of Wales is down there waiting for his moment.
Looks like we're going to have some substitutes.
Good defending here from Rodan, understanding that your goalkeeper is going to come off his line, but you cannot risk losing your mark. Good defending.
Looks like we're having 3 substitutes for Wales. Yeah, they gotta hang on to this. Guys are tired, man. They've been defending for the last, what, 30 minutes?
Cards handed in by the Welsh goalkeeping coach, Tony Roberts, wearing the black. Tony struggling with the water bottles there. After the furniture at Manchester United for many years. So it looks like Brooks for Bale.
So Gareth Bale is coming off for David Brooks.
Brooks who plays for Bournemouth in the Championship. Nico Williams.
Okay, Nico Williams for Ben Davis.
His way to Ben Davis.
Yeah.
One of those on a yellow
Plays for
card.
Tottenham.
And there's also going to be a chance for 20-year-old Dylan Levitt. He was a Manchester United player. He's spent the season on loan first at Charlton in League One and then at Istra in Croatia. Joe Allen gets a bit of a rest. Wales out of substitutions. Pessina may well be cast as the match winner today. He has scored the only goal so far.
So Castrovilli is on for Pessina.
Of Fiorentina. Scored that just the day before the tournament when Lorenzo Pellegrini had to pull out injured.
So we're down to the last 5 minutes of this football game, folks.
It's not been the Blood and Thunder occasion that previous and subsequent games have been and will be at this tournament. Never had that sharp competitive edge for long because Italy knew that they were going through and Wales were aware that they were virtually assured, come what may. But it's been an engaging watch.
Just a shame that Wales had a red card because I thought they could have probably gotten back into this game.
Becoming the first team with 3 wins in a European group stage without conceding a goal. Never been done before.
Italy's on the attack.
It's been 11th consecutive win, all without conceding a goal.
Good defending by Wales.
Verratti.
Verratti. Tries a shot. Another good, well blocked by Wales. Chiesa. Good ball. Good defending by Wales. Good shot by Belotti and great save by the goalkeeper. Wales is really defending their butts off, man, I tell you.
Difficult when you're going up trying to find spaces in behind, always looking for those spaces, but he's also
Good snapshot by Belotti.
a half a chance, and he's had a couple of those.
And good goalkeeping by the goalkeeper. But give credit to Wales, man. They've been playing with 10 man since the 55th minute. So,
Trying to sneak in.
and it looks like they're substituting goalkeepers, Italians.
Donnarumma is brought
Donnarumma is going off for Cerugi. Sirigu, I'm sorry. Yeah, from Torino. I thought I recognized
11
him.
years, just 2 previous appearances. An Italian foot soldier who's never said a word out of place, has always accepted his role in the shadows, and now gets to play the last couple of minutes. Anyway, Donnarumma's going to rush off for his medical for PSG.
That's right. Donnarumma is going to PSG.
With
Forgot
PSG
about
must
that.
be like. I can't imagine it's the norm. I'm not thinking that the doctor turns up in a taxi. It'll be a chauffeur-driven limo. Stethoscope will be gold-plated, that sort of thing.
I gotta get you away from the computer, don't I, for a couple hours?
I do need to get out of it. Donnarumma, who Zlatan Ibrahimovic, no less, describes as the best goalkeeper in the world.
Quite frankly, anyone can play goalkeeper with the way Italy's played the last 10 games.
Leaving AC Milan for PSG. Can't blame him on that.
Castrovini.
Once again, well defended by Wales.
We
We are in the 90th minute, and we have 3 minutes of extra time. So pretty much, yeah, the game has really not had a lot of stoppages. So
all three born on the same day.
Italians are still pushing for a second goal. Don't know why, but might as well just keep safe.
I'm open mouth.
Now you're worried about the PSG medical. I'm more worried about how do you pull that off?
And I come to the conclusion that you need to get out more.
Italy has the ball as they've had most of the second half. Let me see what the 67% for 33. Oh, good save. Good save by the Welsh keeper. Italy still pressing for a second goal.
This is a fantastic save here because there's a little bit of a deflection.
Good
You've
save.
got players sliding in front of you, and Danny Ward does a good
Took
job.
a slight deflection, and even though the ball was going wide, but
Danny Ward up to the
very
top.
good save, Danny Ward. Played well today. Yeah, Italy, just keep the ball. Run this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Play
At
keepsake.
one stage, this looked potentially damaging for Wales when they were a goal down and then Ampadu was sent off. They've steadied themselves. Substitution.
Italy's still coming forward.
And it's a margin of respectable defeat from a Welsh perspective. Should do nothing. The damage
Yep.
there.
This one is pretty much a wrap. We're in the 92nd minute. We got 1 minute left.
Sonori was taking a penalty there. He was impeded in going for the ball. Not clear or obvious enough. Further involvement from the officials. Verratti. Emerson. The flashes of Italy's previously sparkling form. It's been rather more functional. And that's a reflection of the occasion.
And that's it, folks. Full time. Italians have won this one 1-0.
The fiasco of the World Cup, the hope is that a fantasy of some sort is slowly unfolding under Roberto Mancini.
This one is over. Full time, and as the players big up each other in the middle of the pitch, the Italians are undefeated.
The previous sequence of 30 matches unbeaten was set between 1935 and 1939. They go through as group winners.
Final stats: Italy had the ball 69% of the time, Wales 31%. 14 fouls on the Italians, 12 on Wales. 1 yellow card on the Italians, 2 on Wales. 1 red card for Wales, none for Italy. 3 offsides for Italy, none for Wales. 7 corner kicks for Italy, 1 for Wales. 5 saves for the Welsh and 1 for the Italians. So this game has come to a conclusion. Italy has topped the group. Wales has gone through also in second place. So well done to Wales.
Finishes up Italy with 9 points, perfect in 3 games.
But
4 points goal difference.
We're gonna call this one a day. Thank you for those who watched, who came into the live stream. I will be streaming again. When's the next games? Let's see. Looks like tomorrow we have 4 games. I will not be streaming those games tomorrow, but yeah, you guys will know when I'm going to stream again. I will set a reminder so everybody will know. And yeah, so thank you for watching the stream, and hope everybody has a great weekend. Peace out. We're out.